guys, I hope you enjoyed that drone footage of my Excel Catfish Pro 21 in action. My newer catfish boat with AquaTraction on it. Now, as a quick disclaimer, I didn't pay anything for that drone footage, and it's a buddy's drone. It's not my drone. He's practicing with his new drone, and I think he did an incredible job filming my boat. Now what I'm going to do is give you a tour of everything that I've done to this boat. Now, like I said earlier, I added AquaTraction to the boat. It is a flooring that helps silence the boat and gives you better grip. And the AquaTraction people are able to add stuff like my logo right here. And they added a few more things, like an Excel logo, a giant catfish in the floor, and a measuring tape. The measuring tape is so I can give my clients trophy certificates in the future when they catch a trophy fish in my boat. If you want to book a trip and have your chance for a trophy fish, go to fishingwithbilly.com. I'm also have one of my favorite sponsors, Okuma Fishing, and then the boat dealership, Marine Specialist, and then AquaTraction. So that is the flooring in my boat. Now, for other things that I added, I have to show you these. Not only did I get the Smackdown rod holders with the pipes all around the boat, I got the Smackdown rod holders cleat. It goes right into my track system, so I can move it anywhere I want. And of course, I got MulTBars. MulTBars and Smackdown rod holders go together really well. I like it. And then I have Talons. These are anchors. They basically go straight down up to 10 feet to hold me in place. In fact, I am needing to move a little bit here. Remote control to my trolling motor up front. That is an Ulterra trolling motor. And the Ulterra remote control means I can trim it up and down. Right now I've got it on the tracking or whatever they call it. I don't know what it's called. It's the N button, north button. I click that and it will go in one direction the whole time, which is good for dragging. And I've got spot lock, so I could lock it down and anchor fish off the back of the boat. It really does make it super easy to move from spot to spot, like in tournaments or with clients or just for you guys on YouTube. Don't have to pull up an anchor rope and have the chance to lose an anchor. Now, that is a Suzuki motor. It's a 150 horsepower Suzuki. Nothing special. It's just their plain old 150 horsepower Suzuki outboard. It is a prop, and once I hit about half a foot of water, it becomes a useless motor. In fact, recently I was in a half a foot of water. The outboard was completely useless, and because of the current, my trolling motor could not pull the boat upriver. The boat was still floating a couple of inches off the bottom. No problems with the boat floating in less than a half a foot of water, but the outboard, it can't do anything, and in really strong current, even a 112 Minn Kota Ulterra is not good enough to push the boat up that. I was trying to get to my moon eye spot to catch some moon eye for my giant bait tank. Now, some of the things you don't see are my lithium trolling motor batteries. I can't have a lithium battery for the outboard, but I do have an accessory battery and batteries for the trolling motor that are all lithium. And they're the good type without any conflict minerals. Basically, they're made out of lithium and iron, two of the most common elements on Earth. Of course, I have my fish finder. You guys can see it down there. Yep, that fish finder is a Garmin fish finder. Eventually, I want to have a Panoptics on this boat so I can, see the fish swimming under the boat. Make it easier to target those trophy-sized catfish if I can see them and drop bait right on their heads. I have a Yellowtech stick here, and I added this to the middle of the boat. That is a light. That's for navigation light. But it goes for the yellow tech too. And I can power my camera with that. This is a Ram bait and stow cutting board. And I've got it on a screwball in the track system. A screwball is a mount that goes on a kayak. It's just a ram ball that can go into a track system, but it works really well with this bait and stow ram thingamabobber. Cutting board. I do have to tighten it down really tight when I'm dealing with like frozen bait, but fresh bait, you don't really have to tighten it all the way down. My 25 quart Orion cooler fits perfectly in front of the console, and in both of these Livewells, the big one in the back for big catfish and the one up front, I have added aerators. So I got a switch here for the aerator for up front, a switch on the other side for aerator in the back. Here's the remote to the Talons, so I can make the Talons go up and down by a remote too. And then I got a switch where I've switched my USB and 12 volt plug right there so it doesn't, leach energy from the battery while I've got it in my garage, because it does. And it actually drained my battery once when I had it in the garage for like 2 weeks. Now up front I've added a little stabilizer for the trolling motor, so whenever I'm trailering or going a really long way on the water, I can put the trolling motor and connect it to that and keep the trolling motor stable, so it keeps like the belt on the trolling motor from coming off over time, because it will do that once it gets worn out really good. Now boat wise, I had them add storage right here and then storage underneath the seat back there. Someday I might actually remove that seat. I haven't decided yet, but I am going to keep that storage. I need as much storage as possible because I'm a fishing guide, and I think it's required now for fishing guides to have Type 1 PFDs in their boats. The Coast Guard added a rule that I saw on their website where anyone that does anything commercially, which means taking people on guided fishing trips, are required to have Type 1 PFDs on the boat. And Type 1 PFDs are pretty big. I have enough to cover all of my guests on the boat, plus I make my guests wear the belt PFDs. That way my insurance is happy with me. I may have gotten a bite, I don't know. I was actually hoping to catch a fish today, maybe even in this video, but it's being really slow. You think it'd be a really good day to catch catfish with it being overcast like it is right now. Now another cool thing I added to the boat is these tackle webs. I added 2 of them. I found these at Academy Sports, and I can put gear in them, so they're very useful. And I think that's just about it. I can't think of anything else that I've added to this boat that I haven't shown you guys already. Definitely leave me a comment below of what you think about my catfish boat. This is basically the biggest boat I have ever owned. And that's because it's 21 feet long. The Sea Arc Pro Cat was only 20 feet long. Both the Pro Cat and this boat are the same width. However, I think there's more open space on this boat than there was on the Pro Cat, and that's because of that giant console that was in the way. And I think it had a bigger back deck. Like I said in the past, I'd rather not have a back deck so I can just walk straight back to my fishing rods and reel in a catfish. However, if I want to do that, I'm going to have to get an $80,000 Wooldridge boat or Northwestern boats. Those boats, they can draft really shallow, unlike, a Tracker V boat. And obviously you can walk all the way back to the transom and fish. Maybe someday I'll be able to afford one, but for now, this is my boat. I'm not going to get another one until I can afford one of those $80,000 boats. Now, as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to actually watch this video. I really, really appreciate it. Now all I need to do is catch some catfish and slime this new carpet, which may not be today, but hopefully sometime in the future. So stay tuned. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time.